All right. Hello, everyone in chat.
Welcome to the Party Hog.
Okay. All right. Now we're done talking about Nine Inch Nails for about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
We'll talk about important things like video games.
Indeed.
All right. Let me get this going here.
Oh, the other weird thing about that show is Trent at the end, he said, we've been touring for over... First off, he talked, which is
which
weird.
is strange.
And he said, we've been touring for over a year or so, and we're kind of wrapping up the tour. We only have a couple more dates here. Appreciate you guys coming out, and we'll be back eventually. And we're gonna keep making music together. So, we'll see you around soon. And I was just like, that's really weird. Usually at the end of a tour, he's like, I hate all of you. I never want to do this again. I'm like 50. Please go away.
Is that how old Trent is now?
I think he's like 49.
He might be. I would not doubt it.
Born May 17th, 1965.
Oh, yeah, he is 49.
Yep.
Good for him, man.
Yeah, no kidding. He got married a couple years ago. He's got 2 kids now.
Yeah. He looks like Henry Rollins. Like, what happened to this guy?
He's so big. Oh, God. And the other Jay-Z says, and you'll find a USB drive in the crapper.
Yeah, you will.
Congratulations, sir. You just won my heart.
Still remember when that happened. That was just, I was like, oh, wow, someone found a... And then I didn't hear about it for like 6 months, and there was like, oh yeah, that was the start of a game. I was like, what?
Yeah, God, that was so interesting.
Whole years
Dude,
ago.
I'd have loved to see Black Flag back in the day.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that'd have been fun.
Still, the best show I ever went to was a show where I didn't know any of the bands. So, like, me and my buddy were supposed to go see a band called Zimmer's Hole, which is this sort of comedy metal band. They're like the Canadian Gwar.
All right. Why don't they just call themselves Canada's Gwar?
Yeah.
It's basically the band from Strapping Young Lad minus Devin Townsend with a different front man that dresses up like literally the devil.
Okay.
And they couldn't get visas to get into the United States. Like, huh, how weird.
Yeah.
Maybe we should take their costumes off.
Yeah. But it ended up being a local Chicago band, November's Doom, who I'd never seen. They were phenomenal. I will go to almost any show they put on in the city. Another band from Canada called Unexpect, who broke up a couple years ago, but they were, this is going to sound pretentious as all get out, but they were avant-garde metal.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, right. It's really
I'm
the only way
like
to describe it, though.
Free-range metal. I mean,
Yeah.
we have locally sourced guitars.
Hand spun strings.
Yeah,
But
our beats are just the most free-range.
The most
all organic picks and.
But they were just very, very weird, and the bass player was playing this 9-string monstrosity of a bass, and he literally was like playing it so fast that he fell off the stage.
Great.
It was fantastic.
The other Jay-Z says, I saw Tool once and it was incredible. I've seen Tool 4 times now, and those are some of the best shows I've seen.
Nice. Yeah, I just wish I would have seen APC when they came through.
I saw APC, they opened for Nine Inch Nails once.
Nice.
And they were not as good as you would think they would be.
Oh, that's a shame.
It's hard for their sound to kind of get captured.
You need high fidelity to really.
Yeah. But what I love about Tool is they just they genuinely make it an experience.
Yeah. The last band on this tour, though, was a sort of infamous Japanese black metal band called Psy, and I was expecting like, oh, it's gonna get all crazy in here. It's like, oh wait, hold on, the drummer looks like Hideo Kojima. The
Spoiler
keyboard player,
alert, it is.
the keyboard player looks like Dracula from Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
Great.
The guitar player looks like he's in a Japanese Suicidal Tendencies cover band. The bass player looks like he just walked in off the street. And the lead singer she's either 20 or 50, you can't tell.
Yeah.
And she's wearing basically just like every normal clothes for like a show, like a kind of a shorter skirt, but it's all leather, and she's playing a saxophone.
Great.
And it's
I
the
already
craziest.
love
It's the craziest metal you've ever seen. There was like 30 people in the venue at this point. There was like nobody there, but it was the craziest show I've ever been to. It was.
I love those. I love those.
What is a secret? Just a miserable pile of secrets.
You know, I went to go see Korn once, and there were like 12 opening bands, and it was a Tuesday. There was nobody there for any of the openers.
It's so depressing.
One of them was like Skindred, who was terrible.
Yeah.
Chevelle opened for them, which they were actually pretty good. I like them, but they're not always great live. But there was this one band that opened. I never remember their name, but they were atrocious. They were like the second opening band, and it was like 5 p.m.
Hey, they won Battle of the Bands. Be nice.
It was like that. But this dude climbed up on their speakers at one point during some sort of guitar solo, and then when it was over, he jumped off the stack and said, "Fuck George Bush!" And I was just like, "Dude, what are you doing?" What? Like, that's not even what any of the rest of and it's 5 p.m. The lights are still on.
It's 5 p.m. There's 15 people just watched you hurt yourself really badly.
Oh, so bad.
Nice.
I do not miss that about high school, is going to the Battle of the Bands and just
going
being
to the Odeon.
The Odeon downtown.
The Agora.
The Agora was the step up, but the Odeon with, or Peabody's. Remember Peabody's with that pillar right in the middle of the pit?
Yeah. What was that one that was on the corner of whatever it was, and God, what was that popular street in Cleveland when we were young?
Was it Coventry, was it?
Yeah, Coventry. What was on the corner of Coventry and whatever else that was? That like
the grog shop.
The grog shop. I saw Royal Crown Review there as my first concert, and the second band was it was Royal Crown Review. That was a hell of a show because there were like 10 of us in there. That place was packed.
The last thing I saw at the grog shop, I think I saw John Valby. Like
what?
It was like I was like, why is he in a skater punk? Like I gotta show up to see what crowd this is.
Yeah,
but
no one's gonna be there, so you can just walk in.
The place was packed. I walked in. He's like, hey, can I get a ticket to Valby? He's like, yeah, sure. Like no one had showed up, and like I walk in and I was like, it's standing room only. I'm like, what? How did everyone know who this person is?
Yeah. Wow.
Oh man, we had some fun times.
All right, let's kick this thing off here. We've been talking about concert talk for a while.
Indeed.
Yeah, they only caught the back end of it. We were going for a while.
Yeah.
We've been at it for 40 minutes now.
Yeah. All right, you guys ready?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, starting in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to another episode of That Video Game Podcast. I'm your host, Boston. Over there's Knobs.
What's up?
And over there's the Hannah.
Hey.
And I don't think we have anything to talk about at the beginning, so... Knobs. Hi.
Video games.
Video games.
Hi.
What have you been playing?
Well, I played a few actually more than a few things this week.
Ooh, nice.
Ooh, fancy.
I only have 2 things, so...
Same here.
Okay,
right.
Well, obviously we gotta talk about Monday Night Game Night. Always a great turnout. More shenanigans and hijinks ensued. I don't know if it was Monday night or it was one of our miscellaneous Battlefield nights where I had to record a clip because it was too awesome for me not to share. So we're all squatted up and we're all running around and stuff, and it was like the first spawn in Rogue Transmission, and this is one of the maps that's got this giant satellite dish, like James Bond.
GoldenEye?
GoldenEye.
Yeah.
The big sunken
it's like
one
5 miles wide.
Right. It has that big thing that you can knock it down and kill a whole bunch of people because all the snipers trying to get up on the beams and stuff.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. So I'm running up in a helicopter. Usually when you spawn in a helicopter right at the bat, it means doom because the person doesn't know how to fly a helicopter. So I hop in this thing fully knowing I'm going to jump off at some point. So hovering over towards D. which I don't know, you guys probably have no idea what I'm talking about, but it's one of the points where if you capture it, it spawns an attack helicopter. Mm-hmm. So everyone rushes that point. Plus, it's a great spot to lay down little presents for mines and stuff, because always vehicles are screaming through that thing the whole time. So I'm going over that way, and I see a helicopter coming in. I'm like, all right, well, I already messed up because I'm on the gunner seat shooting at guys on the ground. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna jump out. I hit the wrong button. I go to the other side of the helicopter. I'm like, son of a. So then I finally get out of the helicopter and I'm floating down. I get my RPG out. I see a helicopter it's lined up perfectly. So I go to look at him and I shoot it just a half second too late. I miss him as he's taking off. And then I see three guys start running towards the attack helicopter. So I just kind of drift and turn, let one loose. Didn't even aim down sights, just let it loose. And boom, there goes a double kill. But the clip, and I'm like screaming. I'm like, oh my god, it was a great shot, because it wasn't like I sat there and aimed for a while.
You're just shooting an RPG from the hip.
Yeah, like it wasn't even. Yeah. It was just a hip shot. Just turn, poof. There it goes. I was like, did it hit? Oh, there it is. And as I land on the ground, and this is where the clip stops. Meanwhile, like the whole scenario, they've already blown up the cables on the suspension radio dish. So in the background, the dish is falling into the middle of the big pit thing.
Nice.
I turn around and I catch this other guy running away from the explosion that I just caused. I shoot him down, and then all of a sudden I turn real quick and pull my pistol up and headshot a guy behind me. It didn't catch the last two kills, but that was one of the most satisfying quadruple kills I have ever had.
Jeez.
Like, it literally felt like I was in a Japanese action movie where I just didn't even look, just stuck my gun out. Yeah, Ang Lee sent a legion of pigeons out as I pulled that trigger.
Jeez.
But it was like, I imagine like my trench coat flapping in the air as I took a turn.
As you don't even look and just blat.
Yeah. Oh yeah, flat.
Through the coat.
I'm reloading the other hand and shuffling a deck of cards.
Yeah.
Like it's
and smoking.
Yeah, and smoking. As my glowing white mane blows in the
wind. Directed by John Woo.
Yeah.
Yes. Brought to you by blah 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 blah. Anyway, but no, it was such a great moment. Apparently now you can like things on Xbox Live.
Oh, nice.
So now that's got a bunch of likes, which is really cool. We had a new member join us for Monday Night Game Night, Phoenix AD, and I forgot the numbers, dude. Sorry.
It's okay. There's probably not more than one of them listening to the show. So,
but anyway, yeah. So thanks for coming out, and you know it was our normal raunchy Monday night topics of conversation.
Monday night after dark.
It got out of hand real early, and it did not get better the entire night.
Monday night confessions.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. And it almost carried through the rest of the week. You know, a couple of crappy things happened this week for everybody, but we still have Battlefield to bring us up.
It's true.
There you go.
I played a whole bunch more of Power Star Golf.
Nice.
Get my 60K loots in. Now I have the Extinction driver set and the Palladium irons.
Wow.
Because whatever those do.
Who cares?
I'm not really sure. Really not sure. I mean, my driver looks like it's made out of stone.
Awesome.
Nice.
Right now.
Epic word irons is just like you can make anything out of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't matter.
Cthulhu irons. All right, sounds good.
Yeah.
Sure. It better squish when I hit it.
Yep.
But yeah, so I played a whole bunch more of that, and like, man, the Kira lady chick is just killing me in match play.
Yeah, she's ruthless.
Like, she's hit her second shots in the water. Like, it's happened 3 times where she'll hit in the water, next shot's in the hole from like 220 yards out.
I hate that so much in golf games because you're like, oh yeah, I know that costs them double. Oh, I'm so good. I'm great.
And it only happens in match play where they make these ridiculous shots. If it was stroke play, there's no way she's even hitting the green at that point. But she's got to put the pressure on for me to make a 2-putt for a par. And, man, I have lipped out 90%. No, I take it back. 99% of my first putts. I lip out for birdie.
There's something about that game where it's like, ooh, it's good. Oh, it's go. Nope. All right. Okay. See you later.
But it crests the horizon. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to yell. It crests the horizon because I am fired up about it because it happened twice before we started recording. Where it crests, it slows down and goes all the way in the hole, and then it comes out the right side like it got bounced out by a buzzer or something.
Yeah, and you're like, what? The hole isn't like a. It's not a divot. Like it's not a concave. Like. Ugh.
Like, it's not rounded edges. That only happens in real golf where idiots tamp down the sides of the edges so it rolls in.
Oh, yeah.
You need it's a video game. It's a crisp. It's a hole.
It's all polygons.
Physics should not apply this accurately to this stuff.
Yeah.
It's a game. Let me win.
Just throw me a bone here, guys.
I making great shots, and I'm getting punished.
I'm using a Cthulhu driver. How can I be going wrong?
I'm using snake tick putters. I don't know what it is. Like, it's just...
I'm just swinging Thor's hammer, and it's not even working out that well for me.
Unbelievable. Like, I was so frustrated. But to compound my frustration...
Oh, boy.
I downloaded, the golf club.
Oh, no.
Talk about a game that throws you to the wolves.
Hey, you know how you're a pro in real life, right? Enjoy the golf club.
Okay. So I just jumped into it. I couldn't find a tutorial because I thought I learned my lesson with Power Star Golf. You just don't hop into a golf game without learning the mechanics.
Sure. Or like Tiger, you've played it for about the last decade.
Right, where that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Unless they change it to its '06 or whatever it was, that bad one. Where they messed with the mechanics.
Yeah.
So I hop into this, and I'm like, I'm playing, hitting buttons. I was like, okay, so right swing. I got this in the bag. It's like Tiger.
I know how to do this.
So, unless there's a way, I haven't figured out how you can do like the aim your shot where you're looking down. Like you're literally aiming off in the distance without knowing how far your club goes.
Oh, so it's not like Tiger where you hit X or whatever and it zooms all the way out there?
And there's none of that.
Wow.
Which makes putting impossible. Oh, man. All right, so I hopped into it. I played the par 3, and I took a 4. I'm like, all right, I can accept the bogey for my first hole.
Yeah, you're learning the game. It's all good. Shaking off the rust.
Except my first putt was like a 90-footer.
What?
And you know how far my putt went?
30.
12 feet.
Oh,
and I'm
God.
like, okay, so that far back apparently equals no distance.
I just sneezed on it. Okay.
So then I pull it all back way, like, it's almost hip high on a putter swing.
Yeah.
And I go like this, and it goes off the green, and I'm like, all right. And then I take a chip shot, and I make it. I'm like, sure.
I don't know what's real anymore.
Is not, all right, so I'm not going to hit a green anymore. I just don't. They're poison. I'm going to stay off the green. So, like, all right, so I play that one hole, and I get a lucky 4. And so I was like, all right, you know what? I'm going to make a course. Let's go whole hog into this. Putting the hills all the way to the top means every shot's a blind tee shot. So you're literally just hitting, you have enough loft on your driver just to crest the hill. And where it lands, I don't know. Because apparently I put way too many sand traps and way too much water in my course.
Amazing.
Through 5 holes, I was at 58 strokes. And that's when I turned off the Xbox and walked out of the room.
Yep. Coming back to that later.
I am just... I'll give it another shot. I do, because there's a lot of stuff in it that I think is really cool, like the leaderboards and all what little bit that I did witness before I lost my mind trying to play it.
Yeah.
I just don't understand the mechanics of the actual controlling distance, because that is the most important part in the game. Is not just putting is like just like in real life. Putting is it. Like that is like I shot really good on Saturday, but my putting was just absolutely atrocious.
Well, it's probably something crazy like clicking in one of the sticks.
I That's the only button combination I did not try, was trying to click in a stick.
I'm gonna try and look it up.
But man, I was just losing my mind, and I'm saying, it's like, oh, this is awesome. I'll be able to recreate some of my favorite courses in real life, and I'm looking at it, it's like, yeah, that doesn't work like that at all. Like, it's just pretty much control sliders and maybe change some dog legs, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Like, I want to put on a side of a mountain. I want to play Spring Valley. Like, it's... But man, like, the rage that golf games induce sometimes is just, it's whew. I gotta take a deep breath, because I'm really wound up about it. It's like, even with Power Star Golf, because I get the system. I understand how to play that game, and I feel like I'm just getting punished for making great reads.
Yeah.
And I'm making like 90-foot putts. Like, stuff I have no business making, but anything like 3 feet of like a small left or right, I can't figure it out.
Yeah.
I was like, I can make that putt 9 times out of 10 in real life. And like, it is a difficult, like, little, like, hit it hard enough to go up, but it doesn't quite. If you go past the hole on a downhill putt, you're almost for sure going past the cup. Like,
Yeah.
it's just, ugh. Ah!
Rage. Your pups don't
Yeah.
enjoy that very much.
No. Yeah, because you get all excited when I yell. Good boy. Anyway, but yeah, so golf has not been very kind to me this week. Even real golf was rough.
Yeah.
But yeah, for the most part, I got a new set of sticks in real life.
Hey,
and now,
nice.
now I have no idea how far I hit a club.
Great.
No idea. I knew almost within 2 to 3 yards how far I could hit a golf ball with my last set of clubs. Essentially, now I'm hitting the clubs 10 to 15 yards further.
Oh, wow.
It's driving me bananas. There's no reason why I could carry a pitching wedge 170 yards.
Holy crap.
That's it almost further than most pros hit a pitching wedge.
Your clubs are too good.
They're knockoffs. Like, I don't understand it. Oh. So that's frustrating. And then I played, today I played a little bit more of Saints Row 3. Trying to figure out, because I was going to hop in with Scott with his first time playing the game, because he feels like he's driving too much, and that's kind of a problem at the front half of the game, so you unlock the VTOL or the Interceptor hover bike thing.
Yeah.
Where you can just beeline to point the points. But... oh man, just reliving some of those moments and hearing someone's fresh perspective on that game, like, it makes me smile.
Yeah.
Like, just some of the dumb stuff, because I think he's running around as a naked 300-pound dude.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, he's like, it's cracking me up because no one is even mentioning that I'm standing here naked. And this dude is literally pipe high for me.
Yeah.
Like, just right there. But, so I literally did not, like, I played it for probably about an hour and a half. I didn't do a single thing. I just drove around the city.
Yeah, just messing around, listening to the radio.
Yeah.
And that's part of the best thing about it. And I think Scott's doing the same thing that I've been doing lately. Is if you jack a car, you Bo Duke it right through the windshield.
Mm-hmm.
You just leave the station on, because it's always bizarre finding out what they're listening to.
Oh yeah.
Like, I jumped into a cop car listening to the Venture Brothers theme. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is the greatest thing ever. And then I jumped into the guy driving the street sweeper vehicle.
Yeah.
And he's listening to death metal. So I was like, oh man, you kind of rock. I mean, I know this is a boring job, but man,
yeah,
settle down.
Cut loose a little.
But it has been an interesting game. Interesting gaming this week, but Battlefield is it's filled with so many stupid moments.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy I get to share some of these dumb moments, because like, I was going bananas when I blew up the helicopter. I mean, just going nuts and just so excited. But I don't know. It's so much fun. Oh, and I did try to buy Diablo, but apparently Best Buy doesn't carry it right now.
So what's been weird is it's like way out of stock everywhere. I don't think people expected it to be as popular as it is. So
It's Diablo. It's like it's one of the cornerstones of gaming.
yeah, and I wonder if they assumed that more people would download it digitally. As long as you're not in Europe, then that's sort of a problem there.
But I was fully prepared to go to the store and pick it up, and Best Buy got me again.
Yeah.
It's weird. I wonder what their correlation between how well that business was doing to every time they shrink the media department, how bad or how much worse their sales have been getting.
Yeah, is there a graph that's just a straight line down?
I want to see the Vandagram of that. Like, what is it? Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they follow the same trajectory.
Oh, totally, yeah.
Like, why is there more real estate dedicated to headphones than there is, like, Blu-rays and DVDs?
Yeah.
Like, it just blows my mind.
Yeah, you have to wonder how... You have to wonder if the size of the sections is what they're seeing sales-wise. You know, if are headphones still selling really well? Because I'm sure they have a giant Beats section, since those sell incredibly well.
Well, they got the Beats section, the Marshall section, and two entire rows dedicated to earbuds.
Yeah,
like it's dumb. Like, and like right next to the video game department, there's like all like the college supplies, like your blenders and crock pots and rice cookers.
That's
I'm like,
weird.
There's a last those place in most dorms.
That is like the last place I would think to go for those small appliances.
Well, it's like when Best Buy was like, "Hey, now we carry magazines." It's like, I don't care. Yeah. Like at some point they were like, "Hey, we carry records," and it's like, okay, that's kind of cool because instead of going to some mom and pop shop which don't really exist anymore, you can go to Best Buy and pick up a couple records. But like, it's odd.
Yeah. But it was just frustrating. Yeah. It was completely frustrating. But I was planning on playing that this weekend, but guess not.
All right, Hannah, what you got?
Oh, I got a whole lot of Diablo.
Me too.
Yeah. So how about that Ultimate Evil Edition?
So I was thinking about it today.
Oh, now I'm jealous.
I was thinking about it today while I was playing it, trying to figure out what I'm going to say for the show since I've talked about Diablo for probably the last 15 years. And I think that I'm playing it on PS4, which I'm assuming you are too, Hannah.
Yeah.
I kind of think this is the version to get on either PS4 or Xbox One. I think, especially if you haven't played Diablo 3 before, this is the point where you should probably hop in.
It really is.
It's 1080p. It's 60 frames per second. I have not had a single frame drop. It is really buttery smooth. There are no load times. And people are probably like, oh, yeah, that's pretty... No, there are really no load times. Every once in a while, if you hop between acts in when you're doing adventure mode, you'll have a short load time there. But otherwise, even traveling back to town, it just happens instantaneously.
Yeah, it was really surprising after playing it on the 360.
Yeah, because 360 had some kind of gnarly load times. But it looks way better. It has all the content, and it's going to get full. Both versions are going to get fully patched, like the PC version is. I mean, I think if you're looking at playing Diablo 3, I think this is probably the version to get, and I kind of like it better on console. I really like playing it with a controller, and I really like the direct movement. I certainly don't mind clicking a move, but I like that direct movement that the console version has. The other GZ asks, what's an Ultimate Evil Edition? Is there something besides the expansion included? It's basically Diablo 3 plus the expansion plus all the patches. So it's there's every time they come out with a patch, they completely redo something in the game to make it completely better. So I don't know. I'm this is the third time I've purchased Diablo 3, and I'm just in it as much as I have been on the previous versions.
Yeah. So I gave away my 360 copy thinking, oh, I won't need it. I'm going to get it on PS4, so I gave it to a buddy of mine. And Yeah, so I needed that back because of the patch that Blizzard put out.
Yeah,
for
to export your character.
recording saves. So when I picked up my copy of Ultimate Evil Edition, I was like, "Do you guys have a used copy of the 360 version?
Yeah.
I just need it for like a minute."
Yeah, I'll be back in like an hour.
Yeah. Well, actually,
Yeah, come back. This didn't work.
Yeah.
No, like I actually got really lucky. The place, like the area I live in, I still know most of the employees at the GameStops around here because I used to work in the area. So I walk in and it's like, oh, you're still okay.
Hey, you.
Yeah.
Hey, buddy.
So I'll go in and be like, hey, what's going on? Hey, like I'm cool with all of them. But so I was like, yeah, I'm gonna bring this back in like an hour. He's like, yeah, no, that's fine, I get it. So, but that save transfer was really simple and really quick, like way quicker than it should have been.
Yeah, I didn't even do that because I have no idea where my 360 copy of Diablo 3 is. It's probably in the house somewhere. I have no idea.
But yeah, it literally took less than 5 seconds for it to transfer out to Battle.net once I got everything hooked up.
Wow.
And then, like, it's probably just a text file with a bunch of values in it.
Oh,
like,
sure.
That's the only thing I can think of is, like, it's that small. And then I pulled it down on the PS4, and I was up and running on my Barbarian in, like, less than a minute after it finished installing.
Wow.
It was
cool.
crazy. So I already have a level 45 Barbarian on PS4, and I'm in Act 3 on... What's the... So, like... I always forget, and I haven't looked at the menus for it. I know there's the difficulty levels, which is like normal, hard, expert, and all of those. Yep. Each playthrough has a different like level too, though, right?
Not anymore.
Okay, so those are gone. I knew something was missing.
So they changed it, and it's actually kind of nice because the 360 version had a problem with difficulty. So it's basically normal, hard, expert, master, and then torment, and then torment 1 through 6.
Okay.
And on the 360 version, they tried something out different, which I thought was really interesting. But each difficulty, you had a slider, so you could make it harder or more difficult for that difficulty.
Oh, okay.
Which was kind of an interesting idea, but I think it led to too much confusion because if you played on easy, but you pumped the difficulty up a little bit, you didn't really get anything.
No, you didn't.
So, like, you should have just played on expert because then you would have gotten, more
loot,
more experience and blood shards and all that. So there was no, and easy in this game is just so outstandingly easy that
so is normal and hard. I'm playing on hard right now. It's not even a challenge. I'm gonna bump it up to expert next time I load up.
Yeah.
And watch the minute I do that, I'm gonna be like, yeah, this game's too hard.
Well, the thing about easy that's actually really nice is my fiance and I started playing a little bit, and we got probably about an hour through it. She's never played a Diablo game before, so
nice.
When you play easy, it gives you plenty of time to kind of learn how to play Diablo. Because if you haven't played like a point-and-click action game like that, all of it is alien. I mean,
it really is.
It's just so different from anything you played, and it's kind of nice. And it's kind of interesting to see someone play Diablo 3 for the first time because the tutorials are actually really pretty good.
Yeah, they are.
They're on screen for long enough, typically until you do the thing it's asking you to do, but it won't stop you from fighting monsters just to open up your skills to attach a rune. It's never that bad. But it actually does a pretty good job of explaining how to play Diablo.
Yeah. So the thing I'm playing it on the Vita, obviously, because I remote play everything, and it is phenomenal if you set up your controls properly. If you have something, so the problem is always, the R2 L2 conundrum. So you don't want to attach anything that you're hitting constantly to R2 or L2. You want to touch you want to map like a dot or something.
Yeah.
So for mine, I have the bleed effect that I can do. So I tap it once at the beginning of the fight and just cleave through the rest of it.
Yeah.
The only other issue I find with the remote play controls is I have very large hands and very large thumbs, therefore, and they tend to slide and hang over the thumbsticks. And when that happens, they touch the screen.
Yeah.
And every time you even look at the screen wrong on the remote play, it brings up the item menu.
Yeah.
And the worst part is, if you touch it again, it goes into whatever item slot you're in. And if you touch it again, it equips whatever item you're highlighted. So I have occasionally, like, slipped on the thumbsticks and completely unequipped my weapon.
Yeah.
Which is really annoying. So
I thought that's the only thing that I think is really weird on the PS4 version is that to pull up, it's so odd. I would have preferred they would have just taken the full touchpad and just clicking that in would open up your equipment, but it's the left side pulls up your equipment, the right side pulls up your skills.
Oh.
Which doesn't make any sense to me because if you just push in if you go to the equipment menu and you just hit R1, you just go to skills anyway. So it's
for sure.
It seems like it was, and you don't go into your skills that often that you really need like a faster shortcut to it. It's really odd.
Yeah,
and
it's
then
really annoying. I wish I could turn it off
at all.
Yeah.
So like I don't know. It's just a weird choice.
Yeah, if I could just remap that, I'd be incredibly happy.
Yeah.
I would like it would be literally the perfect remote play game for me if I could just remap that.
Yeah.
But I haven't played a lot. I've been really busy. Just a lot of work, a lot of. By the time I'm ready to play a game, like I played about an hour of it one night, and the reason I knew I was done was because I dropped my Vita on my face.
Nice. It's usually a good indication.
That's a good time. That's a good time to tap out.
Yeah, you don't want to drop. You don't want to drop the 1,000 on your face. That hurts.
Yeah.
There's just kind of sitting in bed, just going, oh, okay, all right, sleep. Time to sleep. Time to sleep.
The thing I really like about Diablo 3, I spent most of my day yesterday playing it because I wasn't feeling very well after a couple of pretty long and rough weeks.
Yeah.
This is the reason everyone's always like, oh, I can't believe you're playing Diablo 3 again. You've been playing it for... this is probably... if I looked at my time on PC, I think it's over 100 hours. I mean, the 360 version had over 75 hours, and this is, however long now. And
that doesn't seem like that much.
Yeah, but it's still kind of a lot. But to me, it's kind of the perfect comfort food game. Like, if I'm kind of feeling crummy and I just want to play something, and I don't want to have to worry about it too much, and I don't have to... I know that game by heart, and if I want to do something a little different, I do the bounties. And if I want to just level another character, that's fine. And if I want to just sit there and I want to put something on Netflix and watch that while I'm playing this, great. That's even better. I'll watch some Arrested Development while I'm playing Diablo 3. To me, it's kind of... I will continually enjoy Diablo 3 because it is almost my ultimate comfort food. And it's just so good.
Yeah, this could easily replace Mega Man 2 as my comfort food game. Like, that is the game. Like, when I'm having a rough day, I will just go and beat Mega Man 2.
Yeah.
And I will just plow through that game because it's something like, it's one of those, like, if I'm having a day where I can't get started and I just can't get anything done, I will sit down, I will take the 45 minutes to an hour it takes me to get through that whole game.
Yeah.
And just beat it just to say I did something today.
Yeah.
I feel the same way about Rez. That's my biggest comfort game.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
So yeah, go buy Diablo 3 if you can find
Definitely.
it. Definitely. I had a problem. Actually, I want to give a shout out to Amazon. I ordered 2 copies of it in May, the first day you could pre-order it. And Tuesday I got a text from Amazon saying, "Oh yeah," or Monday, "Oh yeah, we totally shipped it. It's gonna be there on Tuesday. No big deal." Tuesday rolls around, nothing gets delivered. And the status when I go look up on UPS, it's just yeah, we made a shipping label. Whatever. See you later. And I was like, okay, well, that's, it's fine. I've played Diablo 3 before, and Meg was out of town, so we can't even start playing it now anyway, so that's fine. Mm-hmm. So Wednesday night rolls around, and by 10 p.m. they still hadn't delivered it. And I was like, well, that's weird. Let me email Amazon and just be like, yo, guys, I've never had a problem where I buy something that's guaranteed on delivery, the launch date never arrive.
Yeah.
So I get an email back about a half an hour later from a guy working at Amazon. He said, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I've opened up a new order. It's not going to cost you anything. We'll ship you 2 more copies. It looks like it got lost in transit. And because of the problem, we'll extend your Prime membership for a month.
Ooh.
And I was like, wow, look, all right, look at that. That was pretty cool.
Yeah,
so
shout out to Amazon.
By Friday, I got 2 new copies of the game, and by Saturday, I got 2 other copies of the game. So I might be sitting on 4 copies of Diablo 3 right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
What are you, knobs?
Yeah. I didn't pay for all 4. I only paid for 2.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Hey.
Wait a minute. So, I got to give credit to Amazon because I thought that they were going to be like, yeah, that sucks, huh? See you later. But
they could have pulled a UPS on you.
Yeah, and just be like, I don't know, call UPS. And it's like, well, that's never going to happen.
Yeah.
So kudos to them.
Yeah. Played a bunch of Diablo. Not as much as I would have liked for, just work reasons, but I did also play a few matches here and there of PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale online until today when the PSN went down.
Yeah. How do I even abbreviate this? PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale. PASPER.
Okay. Yeah.
Now I'm gonna, whenever I go to edit the show a couple hours later, I'm gonna like, PASBR. What is that? What am I? Is that a new beer? What's happening here?
Pabst All-Star Blue Ribbon?
Yeah. It's Pabst Craft Beer.
There you go. Nice. So, I think I might like this more than I like Smash Brothers.
Huh.
I think it's... I don't know. There's something about Smash Brothers that feels really...
Dirty?
Not dirty. It just seems like it's just a matter of time before someone loses, and the way this one operates is there's a little more skill to it. There's just a little bit more. You're not trying to like desperately cling to the stage. Like I haven't gotten like jettisoned from the stage at all. It's all about timing your super moves and this really delicate back and forth between the different stages, because you have 3 levels of supers that you can accomplish. And you can actually take someone's like meter down by throwing them and then gather up the energy that they drop from that to power your own special meter.
Huh.
And it's just got this really excellent and really just... This is a better game than it probably ever should have been.
What's really interesting is I think this is the first time I've heard anybody...
Playing this?
No, no. But speak kind of positively about it, other than, yeah, it's like Smash Brothers. I feel like that's okay shorthand for someone to be like, yeah, it's Smash Brothers, and it's like, oh, okay, now I get what kind of game that is.
Yeah, it's Smash Brothers, but without Nintendo. Like it's really the only way to describe it, and it seems very basic and it seems very obvious, but when you really think about it, Nintendo has that habit of trying to play to the everyman and play to things like the blue shell and things like random tripping in
Nintendo tends to play to the young child.
Well, that's sort of what I'm saying. They tend to go to the lowest common denominator.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
They tend to try and be as inclusive of everyone as possible.
Yeah.
And balance in very different ways as compared to like a traditional fighting game would.
Yeah.
Whereas this feels more... I think almost a fairer explanation would almost be like Power Stone.
Okay.
It's been forever since I played Power Stone.
But shut your mouth.
It's so satisfying when you actually get a kill, and when you can actually pull off like a double kill in like a fight. It's the best feeling in the world, because it's like, yeah, you fell right into that.
Xbox record that.
Nailed it. Yeah.
That's right.
Xbox record that. But I played it on Vita, just sort of, I like to take little breaks as I work. And that was like perfect for this week. So it was just like, all right, I need to vent some frustration and play some Raiden and just go Metal Gear on somebody right now. And a lot of the matches I played were like 2v2, and I'm getting paired up like... Because you rank up the characters as you play with them, and I'm like rank, I think, 18 with Raiden, because I went through the single player and did a couple multiplayer matches with him. But I'm getting matched with people that are like rank 517 with some of their characters.
Jeez.
Like, have played way too much of this game. And keeping up with them, surprisingly, at least for the first couple of games. I got a couple of guys in the last game I played that just decimated me. And
There's
just like
Sony employees who are just in the QA team.
Yeah, they just
I'm still
never
playing
got
this.
full
Help.
game released. They think they're still testing.
Yeah, they're attacking in Morse code. Please send help.
But I really, if you pick this up on PS Plus, I seriously give it a try. I don't think this got as honestly, I don't think it got as much attention or like good attention as it really deserves.
Well, like we were saying earlier, I think the explanation of that game is it's Smash Brothers, but I think it's also the dismissive sentence to it, where it's like, yeah, it's Smash Brothers. I'd rather just play Smash Brothers. And it's like, well,
yeah, but I wouldn't.
Yeah, but I feel like it's kind of missing the point.
It is a little bit.
Yeah,
it is, like you said, it's good shorthand, but it doesn't. It's not good enough.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know how much more I can say about that game other than it's great, and I just love the fact that I can play as Raiden. Like he is a fighting game character at this point in the Metal Gear saga. Like he may as well just he should be in DOA or something.
Yeah.
He's that would be awesome.
I mean, give it time, probably.
Yeah.
No, he'll be in DOA, but he can't use his sword.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Soul Calibur then.
Oh, there you go.
Soul Calibur. Yeah.
Why not both?
Hey, Ryu Hayabusa doesn't need his sword.
That's true. That's true. But that's all I played this week. It was a real light week for me.
The only other thing I've played, except for a lot of Diablo 3, is I picked up one of my sleeper hits of this year, and I'm almost guaranteed to make it in my top 10, is Counter Spy on the PS4.
That's a glowing recommendation.
This game is really outstanding, and I think the best thing is I kind of had no expectations going in. And I bought all 4 games as part of the PlayStation Summer Play, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
And I haven't gotten to the Swapper yet. Whoops.
It's so good. You need to play it.
So Counter Spy is this really interesting game, and it starts off with this really cool, like 50s jazz-styled intro, where it's almost like the Venture Brothers opening, like that kind of same style.
Very cool.
And the story in the game is very slight, which is I think to its benefit that it's the Cold War. They're kind of changing the names of everything, but it's the Cold War. Russia and the U.S. are ready to launch a nuclear strike on the moon, and you want to stop them.
What did the moon do?
No idea.
There.
I feel like at some point in one of the harder difficulties, they'll probably explain why.
I hope they can see this because I'm doing it as hard as I can.
Yeah. I get the impression through some of the dossiers and things you pick up is that maybe they want to destroy the moon so they can affect the tides, and they're expecting that there would be like tsunamis, but then there are some documents that are saying like scientists say it doesn't work like that.
What? I would love to be in the think tank. Like, what can we do to mess with them? Let's blow up the moon.
Yeah. And that's very much what I love about this game is that it's all like that kind of 40s and 50s think tank sort of thing where like a bunch of scientists went in the room and the thing they came out with was the craziest thing possible. And what really surprised me about this game is so it's a randomly generated 2D, not platformer, but a spy game.
Yeah. So it's randomly generated?
It is randomly generated. Each level is randomly generated, and there's a map at the top of the screen that kind of looks like almost like Castlevania. Basically, it's like little Castlevania levels.
Yeah. Okay.
And it'll usually be like 6 or 7 screens. And every once in a while you'll run into an elevator, and those are like optional harder areas that give you better rewards.
Nice.
And it's really interesting. You have this 2D flat plane to play your game on, and then anytime you go behind cover, it switches the focus to 3D. So at that point,
I did see that.
you can aim and shoot at all of your enemies at that, and then you're in cover by default, and then anytime you aim, you pop out a little bit, and then you take the button off of aim, and then he ducks down a little bit. So it's kind of this cool, like 2D exploration, and then anytime you run into enemies, then Knobs' dog is just in love with him right now. Or he wants to be on the show and doesn't understand what headphones do.
Ow!
Oh, my thorax. I have one of those, right, guys?
What is going on?
So it's this cool kind of back and forth of this 2D exploration and then this 3D kind of almost Metal Gear in the way that you need to watch the enemy's patterns and then try and take them down before they notice that somebody had gone down. This is very much a game for me. It's kind of this randomly generated Castlevania that's also like has a sprinkling of Metal Gear random or Metal Gear shooting to it.
You got me. Like, that sounds awesome.
It's just really solid, and it's really surprising, and it's just difficult enough, and you're always picking up these blueprints and stuff in the environment to make weapons or make like formulas to boost your character.
Nice.
I completed it once, and I thought it was really great, and I thought it was the writing was really clever. There isn't very much of it, but I feel like what is there is maybe a little bit predictable, but in kind of the fun way you would want, where you're like, oh man, I bet this story's gonna go this way, huh? And it kind of does, and it's okay that happened. When I beat it the first time, I unlocked another harder difficulty that I haven't played yet. But once I finish this difficulty again, I'll probably do that. It's just a hell of a lot of fun. It kind of came out of nowhere, and I really wish there was a demo of it. I don't think there is, because I feel like if most people would play a demo of this, I think that they'd probably enjoy a lot of it. In lieu of a demo, go watch Giant Bomb's quick look of it. They actually did a really good job of kind of showing the high points of it and why you should check it out.
Nice. I'll check that out.
Yeah.
And maybe once PSN's back up, I'll get it.
Yeah, highly recommended. I had a lot of fun for a game that it's like $15. I think on PSN it was on for PS Plus it was on sale for like $12.
Yeah.
It's just it's that type of game that I think we loved when XBLA was really hot. I think it would be one of those games that came out. It's like, okay, yeah, I've been playing this most of the week. Yeah, it's an XBLA game. All right, yeah. And it's nice to see games like that continuing to come out.
Yeah.
But that's all I've been playing. So let's take a break.
Cool. Oh.
The chat has asked you what your shirt is. It's driving them crazy.
Oh, let me. Can you see it? Hold on.
It's a guitar.
It is air guitar in the Jordan style.
Yep.
Yeah. I have had to pee for like a half hour. I'll be right back.
Good luck.
No, hold it. Here, Hannah.
Oh god.
Oh man, he raked the crap out of my neck. Boomer, you're a dick.
I like that you had one dog hanging on you and the other dog biting your arm.
He doesn't really bite. He just like nuzzles it in his mouth.
Yeah, he's gumming you.
Like he doesn't bite like hard. I guess it's supposed to be a sign of affection. Just let me stick your limbs in my mouth. Like I don't know what it is.
Yeah, one of our new cats does that too. When he gets really like amped or really freaked out, he'll just do that, and it's like, okay, see you later.
Yeah, I was around a couple dogs like last night, and it was it was like a pit bull lab mix, and man, getting licked by that dog was like getting hit in the face with a wet towel.
Just slapping you.
Like it was like swap, swap, swap. I'm like, oh, and then he started nibbling. I'm like, oh, dude, come on.
Weird.
It was a cool dog.
For everyone in chat that's bringing up the plane bombing Sony stuff, I don't think we'll talk about it this week because it's still an open issue, and it looks like it is. It looks like it's fake from the group that is DDoSing PSN.
So
I would rather not give them.
We don't want to
any more press here.
We don't want to Fox News it up.
Yeah. I feel like wow, those guys are terrible. Yeah, I don't think that when someone does a threat like that or anything along those lines that the appropriate response is to cover the stuff. I would rather take the tack of, if we do cover it, we don't say their names, and optimally we just don't cover it at all, because that's typically what people like that want, is coverage. So
Right.
So we shall not give them what they want. The other Jay-Z says, I don't get why people want to DDoS something that brings happiness. It's because it's the most effective thing. I mean, it's effective and affecting. It's they want to hit the largest number of people, and they want to set up an alert on Twitter that says WTF PSN, and then just sit back and laugh.
Yeah. They're like 13 inner 13-year-olds are in control.
Mm-hmm. Or they're actual 13-year-olds.
Which is very possible, because if we had the means, I'm sure we'd have done something stupid like that. Hey, look how funny this is.
Yeah. I'm going to try and hack the Pentagon. Lols. Hey, the FBI's here. I gotta go.
Man, they unplugged my save file! Fascist!
Uh...
I'm not allowed to touch electronics anymore.
You know, Meg asked me a good question as we were starting Diablo 3. She said,
Whoa.
Oh, careful there. She said, why is Diablo back? And I was like, what do you mean? What? Wait, what? She goes, well, if it's Diablo 3, Diablo's back, right? And I was like, yeah. She goes, but why? Didn't you kill him in the first two? And I was like, yes, but
yeah.
I said, well, in Diablo 1, you were the bad. You took the stone and you put it in your forehead, and it was kind of cool. And now you're Diablo, and then you fought him in Diablo 2. She goes, okay, well, why didn't you kill him in Diablo 2? And I was like, yeah, but I don't know why he's back.
But someone else put the stone in their head, and
I have no idea. And I was like, you know what? At the end of the day, the story kind of doesn't matter. And in Diablo 3, it's kind of not that great, so it's basically LOL, Diablo's back.
Yep.
And she was like, oh, okay. And I was like, okay.
Third person loot grabbing, that's all it means.
Yeah, just get them perps. The other Jay-Z, whoa, spoilers. Yeah, in Diablo 2, you're the bad guy. God, I still love the intro to Diablo 2. The Wanderer.
Yep.
God, it's so cool.
So one of my favorite intros from I think it was Warcraft 3. The
two hands in that puddle.
That's just 2 hands in the puddle, or where you walk back into that citadel like after you you get Frostmourne.
Yep.
And you're like, oh no, Thor just went bad.
Yeah. I love that where like the flower petals are decaying on him. Like
as he's walking by. Yeah.
So many cool little touches.
Samson, what are you doing over there?
Well, nothing. Totally not peeing in the corner. See you later.
What are you doing? Come here. Oh, you're such a good boy. Lay by this box of stuff. What's in this box? Oh my god, I found a baby picture.
Oh no.
Alright, screw it. I'm going to share this because of this claw hand. Okay. So, if you want to know why babies cry, look at the mutant hand next to me. Look at how sharp that is!
Coming in for the kill.
It's apparently a raptor lady who brought me into the world.
Oh, man. Look at these sad puppies watching their screen. What's up, sad puppy?
What are you doing? What are you doing?
God, I am so hungry.
I know, like, I didn't have a chance to eat. Like, I had some leftover guacamole is all I've had today. Oh my god! Alright, I gotta get out of this box. This one was too cool. Alright. Check out the cardigan on this guy.
Oh no.
Look at that sweater vest!
Super styling. Knob circa 1980s.
I think that was
Alright.
3.
Cool. Oh, alright. I think I just hit stage 2 of this hangover.
Shit's getting real weird.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
It's like I got up and I was like, ooh, hi.
Like, oh, wow, wait, what? Still drunk,
Boss,
okay.
Did you share show notes?
Oh, I couldn't earlier. Let me try. There we go.
Yeah, I sort of drifted off during the first segment there because of the crazy, crazy stuff that's now happening with this PSN thing. I just started going on Twitter and trying to find out who all these people are claiming responsibility.
Oh yeah, so I actually talked about it while you were gone. I forgot to wait.
Okay.
Back.
Debrief me.
We won't be talking about it because the bombing stuff is still too new.
Yeah.
And then I said that the thing that these groups want is publicity, and they want their name out there, and I don't want to cover them and give them that.
Bingo.
So,
yeah, it's totally fascinating to watch happen, and it's sort of interesting that Sony didn't have any sort of mitigation for this. But
yeah, DDoSing is really interesting from a sysadmin perspective because you can only do so much.
You really can.
When it's a DOS attack, it's fine. You can mitigate that if you move quickly. But with a DDoS attack, and it's usually so many botnets and zombie botnets too. The last DDoS that I talked to someone about at our hosting facility, I asked them, what was the largest attack you had gotten. And they said it finally shut down their network at 80 gigabytes per second. Not gigabits, gigabytes.
Gigabytes, yeah.
So, I mean, when you start talking about that, there's no way to mitigate that. I mean, there's you can't even shape that traffic because it's indistinguishable from real traffic.
Yeah.
So, it's crazy. Yeah. All right, you guys should have the show notes now.
I got them.
Yep.
All right, let's kick this pig.
Indeed.
I want to go eat something.
Alrighty. Tacos. Alright. Sorry. I'm thinking of tacos.
God, tacos sounds so good. I haven't had Taco Bell in so long.
I had Taco Bell's breakfast this morning. I was severely underwhelmed.
I've heard it's pretty bad.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
I got the crunch wrap breakfast thing.
That looks real bad.
So I hash brown in it?
Yeah, it's got the hash brown, which might have been the best part of it because it just congealed grease.
Sure.
But the eggs tasted rubbery, and I figured, as they asked me, do you want bacon, steak, or sausage? I was like, all right, I don't trust you with bacon. I surely don't trust you with steak. So I'm gonna go with the processed sausage patty.
Oh, I would have picked the steak. Their steak's usually pretty good.
I think steak is like the loosest term.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you have low expectations, steak is pretty good.
I mean,
that's
it's
true.
Like, all right, would you consider flank steak?
At Taco Bell, yeah. Normally, not. It's just it's an okay cut of beef.
Like, all right, so I'm having a steak cook-off and I serve you flank steak. You're going to be like, what is this?
Yeah, well, sure. I mean, I think at a steak cook-off, you have different expectations. When I go to Taco Bell, I just don't want them to poison me.
That's a good goal.
That's my only expectation.
Yep. Solid goal.
Yeah.
Right now, That 2K has it right. White Castle is the best fast food breakfast by far.
White Castle is some of the best fast food in general.
Oh, dude, I can totally go over some chicken rings.
Oh, man. All right, we can't. We got to stop this food cast.
Concert cast.
So
food
hungry.
cast. We're casting all over the place today.
Hey, except for video games, right, guys?
Yeah, right.
We won't even talk about Sony.
Oh.
My cat, one of our cats has an
DDS.
One of our cats has an overbite, and all I think when he looks at me is, I can't stop.
Just like
myself.
a sarcastic laugh.
Oh God.
You just seem. We're boomer.
Oh, that's awesome.
All right, let's do this thing.
All right, ready in 3. Ready in 3, 2. All right, ready in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, everybody. We got releases this week for the week of August 25th, 2014.
All right, I'm good. All right.
Yeah.
Super Time Force Ultra for the PC.
I need to check that game out. That's supposed to be super good. I think Cappy Games made it.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be super good, and it was on Xbox One and 360, and I'm not on there right now.
That's a weird time travel one, right?
Yeah, where you're like playing as multiple past versions of you.
Okay. Yeah.
It's supposed to be really good.
I was screwing around for so long, my tablet went to sleep. My script, my prompter's down. Where's the car chase? Follow that. Madden NFL 15 for 360 XPO, PlayStation 3 and PS4.
More Madden, yay!
Yeah, it's weird to have watched this game's life cycle as a media spectacle to just like, oh yeah, hey, there's a new Madden coming out.
Well, what was the big deal?
Well, remember just voting for the cover and stuff? They didn't do any of that crap.
It used to just be like Madden was the event.
Yeah, like that
everybody
moves
away. Midnight
away.
Release. Yeah.
Same thing with the Call of Duty games. Like all their fervor and stuff seemed to be a slow roar anymore.
Yeah.
It's a little. It's just interesting.
Yeah.
Metro Redux for the PC, PS4, and Xbox Live. Xbox. Xbox One.
That one's actually pretty interesting. I originally thought that they were just going to put out both games in one package and just kind of turn the dials up and like, oh, now it's 1080p, 60 frames, whatever. But they put in a bunch of changes. They rebalanced the games. They put in new difficulty modes, and one of them is even just like, hey, here's the original one.
Well, they fixed the stealth mode.
Yeah, they
for that one, because I was getting tired of missing point blank range, like right here. How do I miss this shot?
Yeah, and they went through.
It's not playing Power Star Golf. Come on.
They added a Ranger mode for both games, which is kind of your HUD is gone. Pay attention to the game mode. So that's kind of cool. That seems like if you've been interested in Metro, that seems like a pretty good package.
It seems like the way to do it would be this game because it fixed a lot of the gripes with the first one, the first two. Yeah. Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney for the thirds.
I heard when this came out in Japan that it's kind of disappointing on both fronts. I do not care. I already have it pre-ordered. I'm going to play it. I don't even care if it's okay. An okay Professor Layton and an okay Phoenix Wright game are okay by me. Hey. All right, let's move on to news story singular here. Ubisoft says they're not bringing any more M-rated games to Wii U. What I thought was really interesting is I think he's still CEO, Yves Guillemot, said that it's not a problem that third-party games don't sell. What he says is, quote, what we see is that Wii U owners are very interested in Just Dance, very interested by other kinds of games. So what we're trying to do is focus more on the types of games they are interested in, end quote. So they're saying that, Assassin's Creed 4 and Watch Dogs just didn't sell. People are not interested in M-rated games on the Wii U, so they're not gonna do it anymore. And I thought that was kind of interesting, and I think it's really interesting that they came out and it's like, look, it's not that no games are selling on the Wii U. They're kind of countering the Nintendo machine opinion that I think a lot of us have, and they're just saying like, no, Wii U gamers want Wii U games. They don't want games from other platforms that are on the Wii U. That just doesn't do well.
Well, that might work out to his benefit, saying like, yeah, not that it's just a Nintendo player, but I mean, that's a very unique platform that can really flourish with unique games, and a port just isn't going to cut it on that side.
Well, you hear how many times people are like, "Oh yeah, I picked up this game on the Wii U and it doesn't even use the pad. Like it's just a black screen. So why am I even playing this?" You know, it'd be like getting a PS4 game that doesn't have remote play support. You know, it'd sort of be like, "Well, I don't know if I want to buy this on there." You know, and if when you look at something like Watch Dogs and you look at something like AC4, the Wii U is a powerful enough platform, but if you can get both of those on PC or you can get those on PS4 and Xbox One, why are you gonna buy it on Wii U? You know, instead of buying Just Dance, which uses, you know, all of the capabilities of the platform. So, yeah. I don't know. I that's interesting, and it's a really slow news week because that's all we have.
That's it.
All right, so let's move on to Twitter. First one here is from Toxic Joker. He has a sort of three-parter here. He said, "Hey there, gents. Missing the show today. Attending the wedding. Hope you're having fun. Get drunk." My question is, can you guys tell me about Freedom Wars on Vita? No.
Nope. Sorry. I wish I could.
I feel like I've seen it a bunch. Wikipedia says it's an action role-playing video game. This looks really from. Oh, okay. I know what this game is. It seems like it's kind of not really Monster Hunter, but kind of the same. Hey, everybody, let's hop on together and fight a bunch of big beasts, sort of thing.
I like fighting beasts.
Yeah. Everyone seems super pumped about it. I don't think I understand why yet, other than, hey, it's a Vita exclusive game. Question number 2. Recently bought a PS2 and GameCube at a garage sale for $10. Great find, by the way. Can you recommend some must-buys or some of your favorites? Oh, boy. How many hours do you have?
Yeah.
Right. Let's start with the GameCube, because there were a lot less games for that. I like Wind Waker.
Yes.
I know a lot of people are going to crap on it, but I think that's pretty good.
Metroid Prime.
Yep, if you can find Metroid Prime 1 and 2, both of those are good.
Yeah.
Mario Party, any of them.
Yeah, my favorite's 4 or 6, I think. If you haven't played Mario Sunshine, it's not one of the best games in the Mario franchise, but it's pretty solid.
Yeah. It's better than it got credit for.
It's different
when it came out.
Yeah, it's really different, but I think it's kind of fun. If you can find, they came up with a Luigi's Mansion for GameCube, right?
Yeah, that was the original. It was the launch game. Yeah.
Yeah, if you can find that gets a little hard to find.
If
you can find that, that's a good time. The other GZ says, I hear good things about Double Dash. Double Dash was pretty good.
Double Dash is pretty fun if you want to lose friends.
Yeah, exactly. I can't think of anything else.
Oh, if you can find Eternal Darkness.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit hard, but if you can find that.
And I know I will get slaughtered for this, but play Metal Gear Solid: The Twin Snakes. It's fantastic.
Boo hiss.
Whatever.
If you've never played
I own that version, and I never played it.
If you've never played the PS1 version of MGS, then Twin Snakes is fine.
Yeah. If I could just get the original voice acting in it, it would be perfect.
Yeah. All right. What about PS2?
God, where do you start?
There's like 150 games I would recommend.
Shadow of the Colossus.
Well, I feel like Shadow of the Colossus and Eco you might want to get on PS3. Smooths out the frame rate issues.
Yeah. Actually, I remember playing Shadow of the Colossus on the PS3 and finding it incredibly difficult because I played it before they patched the frame rate issue.
Oh, nice.
Where it doubled the speed of the game. Like, you would cling to the dude and it would, like, just...
Moonpier, actually going back to GameCube, Super Monkey Ball.
Yeah.
PS2.
God.
Oh, PS2, Katamari.
Yeah.
Yeah, mostly the first one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Katamari Damacy, Guilty Gear X, Guilty Gear X2.
Yep.
Yes.
Man, I love them, but all the EGA third person games, Castlevania Lament of Innocence, Curse of Darkness, and Nano Breaker were all awesome games.
Yeah. Oh, there's so many. I just don't even know where to start.
Yeah, I mean, like almost every
many.
RPG that was released on the platform.
Go find God Hand.
Yeah.
I've got a stack of bad PS2 games over here that I recently bought. I bought Eternal Ring, Silent Scope, Mad Maestro, and Devil May Cry 2.
Okay.
Devil May Cry 2.
That's a hot one. Devil May Cry 1, though, if you can find that on PS2, that's a great game.
Oh, the God of War games? Well, you can probably get them on PS3 now.
Yeah, God of War 1 and 2 you can probably find for pretty cheap on PS2. And I don't think the PS3 versions added anything other than sharper visuals.
Oh, Gungrave. All right, well, now I just noticed something here. Yeah, Gungrave. Any of the Ace Combat games.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, God, Odin Sphere. Find it. Just find Odin
Sphere. Yeah, if you can find Odin Sphere. That game was divisive, but it's pretty outstanding. Like almost any Square game that they put out on that platform, except for the Mana game or Unlimited Saga. Don't buy that.
Yeah, don't buy that. That's terrible.
I mean, the great thing about PS2 is I feel like virtually every game that you can buy for that platform, as long as it's not like a movie tie-in or focused for kids, is going to be pretty outstanding.
Yeah. A couple other ones. Time Splitters, too.
Oh, yeah.
You can get that for GameCube or PS2. I think it's on both.
I think so, yeah.
And Shadow Hearts games.
Yeah, those are really hard to find, but if you can find the second one, that game is outstanding.
You know, it's another fun one would be any of the Dragon Ball Z Budokai games were a riot.
Yeah.
I mean, if you love RPGs, the PS2 is just pick up virtually any of them, and they're going to be really great.
Yeah.
Even small ones like Ring of Red, which virtually nobody played, and it's outstanding.
I'll have to try and find that.
Yeah.
I know there's one. I feel like I'm missing one huge. Oh, the Xenosaga games are also great.
Find Simpsons Hit and Run.
Oh, that game is great. Yeah.
Yeah. Huh.
Moonpier says your PS2 is also backwards compatible with PS1. Also, a great point to remember because there are just hundreds upon hundreds of great games.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right, moving on to part 3 of 3. Thanks for getting me through a rough stretch. The podcast and MGN, or Monday Night Game Night, help. Keep up the great work, and thanks for the laughs on Monday Night Game Night.
You're welcome.
I'll
send your thanks to Donnie.
Yeah. Moving on to emails. Lataris H writes in, says, "Hello, I've been listening to the show for a few months now, and I can say I've been enjoying it."
Good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The podcast has really helped my work weeks go by smoothly. I was curious if any of you played an old SNES title called Terranigma. Apparently it's by the creators of those old ActRaiser games that I'm sure you've played. Yeah, play ActRaiser 1. It's one of the best on the Super NES, not the second one. Anyways, I guess we're... so, before he goes into his question, I have never played Terranigma, and it is a black spot on my Super NES collection.
Yeah, I can't say I've played it either.
It's supposed to be really, really, really amazing.
Okay.
And I have just never gotten to it. The other GZ apparently wrote in with a tweet that I completely missed, asking if we had played PT. The PT demo. We talked a little bit about it last week. He says, I got about 15 minutes in before I hopped in the Nope mobile and drove up to Nopeville Heights. Yeah, I'd never be able to play that game.
There's might try just because it hits three huge things for me, which is Kojima, Silent Hill, and Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah.
So I might have to play it. I don't know if I will enjoy it, but I will probably play it at some point when I get some downtime.
Yeah. All right, continuing the email. Anyway, I guess where I was heading with this is I really like the world building aspects of those games. I was wondering if they still make games like this, where you, the character, goes off to accomplish some task in order to help grow the world. Anyway, if you have some time, why not give Terra Enigma a glance? If you haven't already. Thanks for the great show you guys put out every week. Yeah, where's a game that your character gets to grow the world and the world kind of changes? I know on the PS2, Dark Cloud 2 did that. Like, bits you gather from the world you would place into the overworld, and it would kind of change the world overall. Legend of Mana for the PS1 did that. Where levels change depending on which ones you put next to each other.
Oh, weird. Yeah, this is totally out of my scope of knowledge.
I don't think there have been that many, because I mean you have to think that when you go to make a game like this, managing all of those moving pieces has to be really tough.
Yeah.
So I don't.
Or you have to have some really ingenious way of doing it.
Yeah, and I mean I think the swing that games have probably taken nowadays is you making the world. So Terraria, Minecraft, all that. I think there's less of a focus on an indirect impact on the world and just hey, just go build a house if you want a house.
Yeah, absolutely. The only games I can think of in modern times that sort of do that are Fable, but it doesn't really even do that.
Yeah.
It really is more affecting of your character, and you can earn money by buying parts of the world, but it doesn't change the world. It doesn't change the layout of the levels or anything like that.
Yeah, I can't think of a game in recent memory that does that. I'm sure we're missing one, and probably one that we never played, but...
Yeah.
They're not ringing any bells. Sorry, for some reason the plus button got stuck on my keyboard, and I had to go unplug it. But there is no plus button with this keyboard. It's... Ugh.
Alright, moving on to the next email here. Michael, a.k.a. Chino, writes in. Hello, awesome gents. Why, hello.
What's up, Chino?
Playing some PS1 games on my Vita, I've thought a couple of questions for you guys. Question number 1. Have you ever thought, hey, I remember that game? Then you finally start playing it and thought, ugh, no, I remember this game. If so, what games were they? I feel like I did that recently.
I just did that with Blast Chamber.
Oh, man.
Yeah. As I was going through, I was cleaning the other day, and I came across one of my archive boxes where I was like, "Ooh, what's under all these Genesis titles?" And I was like, "Hey, there's my Saturn." And then I was like, "Oh, there's my Saturn games." Like, "Oh, I remember. Oh, I remember you."
Oh, Blast Chamber. I think the last one I remember was when they came out with Toe Jam Earl 1 and 2 on XBLA. I was like, oh, Toe Jam Earl 2, that wasn't as bad as people said. Nope, that's still pretty bad.
I'm trying to remember last time that happened to me.
You know, the Jay-Z in chat says Road Rash 2.
Ooh.
That game is really rough. That was so good back when it came out, but nowadays it's just her.
Yeah, God, I can't think of a time where I've gone back to a game where I thought at first was bad and been oh, it wasn't that terrible. Maybe. I did that with. Hard time coming up with an example.
I did that with Inferno probably about 4 times. I've installed that game 4 times.
Yeah.
And it just every time oh yeah, I can't do this.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like anytime I go back to an older game that I love, I feel like I can still mostly keep the rose-colored glasses on. It's either it came out on PS1, yeah, it's a bunch of jaggies, alright, just load times are terrible, okay. But I don't remember too many games I go back to and I'm like, oh god, oh why?
Yeah, I can't say I've really experienced that on a really heavy level, where it's been my opinion completely flipped. Maybe I don't know, I feel like every time I go back and play an old Mortal Kombat game, I'm sort of why would anyone like this? It was it's purely the controversy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I feel like Moon just brought up a great one, the old Command & Conquer game. The original CNC, which was amazing when it first came out.
Yeah.
I tried to replay that a couple years ago, and outside of the FMV, like it's
a mess.
It's terrible. Like, what do you mean I can only build one unit at a time?
Yeah, I can't queue anything? What is happening?
Well, yeah, because then it has the old hack where the more barracks you build, just the faster the guys come out.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's so crazy.
I
can't even imagine.
Question number 2: what game bosses have gotten the best of you that you have not beaten and probably never will?
Still haven't beaten Final Fantasy VII Sephiroth. I tried a couple times, and the one time I had the save point right outside where you can, like the last place you can have it in that game, and I lost the memory card with the save file on it, and I just I've never gone back to finish it.
Yeah.
So.
Oh man, the last boss on Shinobi, the original Shinobi for the Master System.
Oh jeez, yeah.
I cannot beat that flying devil mask man or whatever it is. Like it is it's so hard because those games you had to play in one shot.
Yeah.
Or once you died and continued, you were down to where you had 13 health bars, you were down to 4.
Yeah, none of your items and everything.
Yeah.
There's one, I can't remember the exact level, but there's the original NES Ninja Gaiden. There's a level where I get to a boss and I just cannot beat him. Oh god, it's like the third to last level in that game. And just it requires a ton of it's very careful platforming, and I die 2 or 3 times always getting to where I need to get, and by the time I'm at the boss I just don't have enough lives to beat him.
I'm trying to think, did Kid Chameleon have bosses?
No.
Okay, I never finished that game because eventually my best friend and I had played it for 4 hours and we still had so much left to go, and we're like, we can't do this anymore.
It just gets faster and faster and faster.
Yeah.
I still love beating Sonic 2, though.
Oh,
I love getting up in that state. I can hear it in my head right now.
It's the most epic boss music. It really is.
And then just the little when you land on them.
Oh yeah. Man, what a game. I have never finished Mega Man 1.
Yeah, me neither.
Because I think I always get up to Guts Man, and there was something about his pattern when I was younger, I just couldn't do it.
Yeah, I could see that.
Man.
I'm trying to think what other bosses stonewalled me. The 7th or 8th Colossi from Shadow of Colossus.
Yeah.
Nice.
I cannot figure it out.
Which one is that? Is that the flying one?
No, beat the flying ones. It's the one he's in the area with the geysers, and I can't figure out how to lure the man over the monster over the geyser to do something. I'm assuming I have to do something. I'm too stubborn to look at a fact. So I just sit there and be angry about it.
Yeah.
Oh, another game that went back back to 2 or 3 questions ago. Zone of the Enders. When we played the re-release of that, I'm like, I don't have the brain capacity to do this anymore.
Yeah, it's this voice acting is really bad, and this game is really weird.
Well, the controls are difficult too.
Yeah, that was very much a game that you had to spend a lot of time with.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to our last email. It says, "Hey guys, your favorite spirit animal, Jim here." Hello again, Jim. Last week you talked about some of the lower moments you had in gaming. So to flip things around, what are some of your best experiences? Was it spending hundreds of hours on a favorite amazing game, or a time period in your life that really stood out that you wish you could relive when it comes to gaming? My favorite memory was a chilly night in November 2005. The 360 was just a day away. Me and 4 good buddies all got the day off to camp at the local Best Buy. Keep in mind, this was at a time, it was first come, first served basis with no midnight release. We're going to be there quite a while. So like the nerdy MacGyver I am, I borrowed an empty cargo van from my brother's car dealership and a generator, loaded up with OG Xboxes and a couple TVs, and we had an all-night Halo 2 LAN party.
Nice.
That's in a van? That's great.
To add to the awesomeness, my girlfriend was a manager across the street at Outback, and before they closed, they came and catered us and the other people camped out. Free appetizers and wings, even a few steaks for all. So an all-night LAN party, free steak and wings, and a next-gen console in the morning, that's going to be a tough memory to top. Love the show, dudes, and I'll hang up and listen. Wait. Yeah, that's a hell of a story. Favorite gaming memories.
I have so many.
Yeah.
Well, I think some of mine are probably the most social, and they were from college, where we had our little like routine. Like every day, we were at this one point playing the same game every day.
Yep.
Like right before we go to eat, we'd sit down and we'd play Guilty Gear for like an hour.
Yep.
And it would be you, Sauce, I think Curtis was there, Rodney.
Yeah, we had like this whole group of peeps.
It was pass the controller and winner stayed just for hours. It was a blast.
I would say mine is just like my senior year of high school, like that the summer after that, and like going into my first year of like I went to community college for my first year of college just to get like gen eds and stuff out of the way, and that whole year was just a lot of. And even like my junior year, just like the tail end of high school was great because we had Halo LAN parties. Everyone had an Xbox, and we would all go to my friend Steve's garage because his father had put a like central heating unit in the garage at one point, so we could have just a LAN party any time of the year, any time we wanted. If we had like a weekend free or like spring break or winter break, we would just hit up the garage and LAN all these Xboxes together with these. These huge old CRT TVs that we would haul from our parents' houses, and just 8 or as I think the most we ever got was like 12. I don't think we ever got a full 16 going, but it would just be tons of us just going crazy on Halo. And our favorite one was always everyone's invisible, no shields, nothing but rocket launchers. It was absolute chaos.
Amazing.
And just, always fantastic.
Go ahead.
So my second favorite is the time I got laid off from my job in 2009. It was actually almost exactly 5 years ago. And I had just started dating my now wife, and she had gone back to school, back to college, and we decided to go, okay, we're going to do long distance. Not even really long distance. It was like maybe an hour and a half both ways, but long enough. But it was just like, look for jobs, put out resumes. What else am I going to do all day? I think I beat Dragon Age Origins 3 times because it came out around that time. I played so many games during that time. Like, it was a terrible time in my life. But it was like, that was the time when it was like, yeah, this is why I love games, because I can get away from all of that.
Yeah. I think probably some of my best gaming memories is probably a lot of ones that Knobs and I shared during college. I think probably some of the best was, Knobs had a Dreamcast and a copy of Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and over a period of a couple of months, we eventually roped everybody in on our floor to loving and getting really cutthroat competing in Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and then unlocking every single thing in that game.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it wasn't just because it wasn't your stereotypical dudes that were gamers. Like, it was Boston and I were like the gamers, and the rest of like the starting line for the football team was in there screaming at the TV when we were playing it.
Yeah, like we'd come back and he's been there playing for like 3 hours.
Yeah,
it was really crazy, and I think for both Knobs and I, it was kind of this revelatory moment of sort of like, okay, everybody can like video games. It's not just us, we just have to. They just have to get there.
Yep. Well, that same Dreamcast was the one that got held for ransom that one year.
Yep.
I came back to my dorm room. There was a ransom note for my Dreamcast.
Yeah, someone had unplugged it and put the ransom note where the Dreamcast lives. It's also the Tornado Dreamcast that we talked about a couple weeks ago.
That's fantastic.
It lived a good life.
Oh, another one of my favorite moments with us doing stuff. Remember we had in my hometown in Brunswick where we had that land, Cyberland.
Oh yeah,
Um,
a game cafe popped up in the middle of nowhere in Ohio.
yeah, yeah. So this game, and like I had stopped there once before with like one or two of my other friends from the area, and we played like Unreal Tournament stuff. It's like, dude, you guys got to come up here. So we get together like 6 or 7 of us,
Mm-hmm.
and their copy of
CNC
Unreal.
Generals.
Yeah, CNC. Oh, it was at first we tried to do Unreal, but somehow it wasn't working.
Yeah.
And then we settled on Generals, and we were playing with this one dude that we rarely played games with, and he did not think this guy would be good at CNC, let alone Generals being so different from the other Command and Conquer games.
Yeah.
Proceeded to roll us for 5 hours.
Yeah. It was brutal.
Nice.
It was the point where we're making alliances, throwing Cheetos at each other in this place, making a mess while everyone else around, there was probably 30 people there. We're the only 6 people playing another game other than Counter-Strike.
Yeah.
Nice. Oh yeah, those are my other fun gaming memories. Is the random servers I would end up on Counter-Strike. Like I wish I was still in contact with some of those people because they were pretty cool.
Yeah. All right, we have one more email, but from Moonpier, but I'm going to save that until next week because it sounds like something's happening in my house that I should probably go check out. So thank you very much, everyone, for emailing and tweeting. You can visit us at tvgp.tv and email us at tvgpfans@gmail.com. Tweet us at tvgp, and everything else is on the right-hand side of the page.
And don't forget to join the forums. Please mark yourselves on the map. I love seeing points on that map. It brightens my day. I pull it up probably once a week just to look at
It's filling all those countries.
Yeah. We need to penetrate into South America at some point.
Yep. It's like Risk.
Yeah, either that or I need to learn Portuguese or something. I don't know.
Nice.
But my head itches. Join us for Monday Night Game Night. Thanks for Good for Gamers, I think it is. Keeps retweeting about Monday Night Game Night.
Yeah, super huge thanks to them in general.
Yeah, thanks for that because I always forget to announce it. And come join the cadre of shenanigans on Monday night because if anything else, you'll leave laughing.
Yeah.
Thursday night game night, Steam game night. Join the Steam group, and hopefully we get some rotation going on there.
Mm-hmm.
And Game Club game?
Yeah, TVGP Game Club game is currently Saints Row the Third. And it's going until about mid-September. I believe the 18th is the end date for that, and we should be recording the recap podcast then.
All right.
Enjoy, sir.
Don't forget you can watch this show live, twitch.tv/E1M1 Network. And thank you very much for listening, everybody, and we'll see you all next week.
Laters.
Peace.
All right. Let's do some titles.
Yeah, I've only got a small selection of titles because Jay-Z said he had like 25.
Yeah.
So as soon as he gets those up in chat, I will start reading those.
They are coming in.
Yes, so I got I sort of stopped writing after I had to really use the washroom because it was just sort of bad. Shenanigans and hijinks. Turn poof. I don't know when that happened. Doves in the background. Squished when I hit it, and my favorite, ow my thorax.
I'll write that one down.
Yeah.
Did I get a scratch for that?
Jay-Z's got a couple in here, so we've got RPG Hip Shot, Ang Lee's Pigeons. I swear I saw a couple other ones in here, too. Let me do a quick search here. There we go. I Gotta Get Out of This Box. And I think we're still waiting on chat. Oh, here we go. And Moonpier's got a few. Hovering the D, Glowing White Mane, Monday Night Confessions, Cthulhu Irons, It's Not a Divot, It's a Hole.
I still really like Ow My Thorax.
Yeah. Oh, okay. And Jay-Z just chatted me a bunch on Hangouts here. So RPG Hip Shot, Ang Lee's Pigeons, Now You Can Like Things on Xbox Live, the Palladium Irons, Better Squish When I Hit It, Stroke Play, 90-Foot Putts, Physics Should Not Apply, Putting Impossible, Hip High on the Putter Swing, changing some dog legs, so many stupid moments, a giant beat section, really simple and really quick, a text file with values, Torment 1 through 6, the R2L2 Conundrum, Slipknot with thumbsticks, PASBR Blue Ribbon, Jettison from the Stage, Smash Bros. Without Nintendo, What Did the Moon Do? Scientists say it doesn't work like that. A sprinkling of Metal Gear. It's a problem that third-party games don't sell. Hey everybody, let's hop on together. A LAN party any time of the year. Knobs Had a Dream cast, Where the Dreamcast Lives, and that's it. And I think Moonpier has a few more. Snake Tick Putters, Cthulhu Drivers, Pipe High for Me, So Many Stupid Moments, Vandergram, Pulled a UPS on You. Playing this, they're attacking in Morse code. Ow, my thorax. Her. Hey, there's my Saturn. Why would anyone like this?
So
I like L2 R2 Conundrum.
I'm a big fan of that.
So
one.
my three front runners here are Ow My Thorax, the R2L2 Conundrum, and They're Attacking in Morse Code. I kind of like the R2L2 Conundrum.
Yeah,
is it L2R2 or R2L2?
R2L2.
R2L2.
That is a great line. Who said that?
That was me. I was
Hannah.
talking about remote play and tapping the back touchscreen on the Vita.
All right, starting in 3, 2, 1. This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 357 for August 25th, 2014. The R2L2 Conundrum.
Just
Missed it
touch
again.
it.
All right, thank you very much.
You missed that
everyone,
one too.
for watching. We'll see you all next week. Adios.
Bye.
Later.